Hey YouTube, welcome back. We got a different thing for you tonight. I know some of you have been waiting to see this thing, and some of you that are observant as can be have noticed our little lantern back here. It's kind of skipping a little bit, and several of you have asked that we open it up and see what it's made out of. I thought, well, tonight we can share that with you. So let's get him closer. If you notice this back wheel here, it just stops occasionally right there. So we'll get it shut off and start taking him apart. This little lantern, I bought it at a swap meet, probably 20 years ago or better. And our oldest son used it as a nightlight in his room for years. So I can't find any maker's marks on this. The only maker mark is on the back of the glass globe here. And it says, if you guys will be able to read it, but it says made in England. So we'll start. It's got two little brass screws that help to hold this lid down. We'll get these out. And, I've only had this apart, I think, twice. Once to replace the light bulb in it, and then once to, I had to make an adjustment down in here because he had knocked it over and it went kind of cattywampus. So now our light's just porcelain holder with a spring clip inside the aluminum lid. I'll set that off to the side, and then these brass, looks like they're about 1/8 inch pipe, holds this glass globe down onto our base through these aluminum tubes right here. So we'll get those out of the road and we'll get this other side off. Trying to keep you guys in frame so you can see what we're doing. I wish I knew where to tell everybody to get one of these, but this is the only one I've ever seen, and I was kind of glad that when my son decided that he doesn't need it anymore, he didn't take it with him, because I kind of like it. So, and then the globe lifts off, and as you see, it hits our engine in here. We can't get the globe off without taking the engine up too. So I don't know if I can get my paws down in here to grab a hold of it, but there. And then you can turn it and roll it out. We'll set our globe back here so it doesn't get broke. And this is just a little synchronous electric motor in the bottom down here with a gear reduction that turns an aluminum wheel. It's got an O-ring on it. So well, that's all there is to the bottom end of it. I guess we could plug it back in. I don't know if you guys want to see a spinning wheel down here or not, but sometimes you guys are into weird things too. So I'll plug it back in, we'll turn it on. And I noticed occasionally when you turn this thing on that it'll want to start and go the other way, but it always catches itself and goes the right direction. And it's a fairly powerful little motor for what it's got to do. I mean, it's just turning, this little engine. So we'll set this out of the way. A lot of you guys wanted to see how this engine was made and ask if it was just 2D or what. And no, it's a little 3D. It's all aluminum. The whole thing's aluminum. You notice the back wheels, they pivot up and down to stay in contact with that rubber wheel that was turning. The front axle, it only pivots on the side that the drive wheel is on. The other side it doesn't move. Our canopy is just a piece of rolled aluminum, and our stack here is knurled just to grab on this hole here. And I mean, it's not necessarily a kid's toy, so it doesn't do anything except sit in that lamp and turn. And the way it turns is you've got another O-ring here on the flywheel that just rubs up against this drive wheel. And then the front wheel over here, it also rubs on the drive wheel. So that's how they work. But I'm gonna probably replace this O-ring, give this whole thing a good clean up, because like I said, it's been years since I've had this thing apart. But yeah, I'll get it cleaned up. And I did notice it was starting to squeak. I don't know if you guys can see down in the bottom down here, but it's got a little bit of old oil or dusty, dirty oil that's been down in there. So yeah, that's for those of you that wanted to see the inside of the little lamp, here it is. Not a very long video tonight to share with you, but I know it's one that several of you have noticed and commented on. And our last video last night, we got a comment that it looked like it was starting to fail, and I'd noticed I'd get a squeak out of it every once in a while. So yep, it's apart. I'll go ahead and spray it all down and get it cleaned up, and put a drop of oil on the moving parts and make sure they're still going to keep moving. I don't get that occasional squeak. And yeah, that's about it, fellas. So all right, hey, and thanks again for that video last night. I enjoyed making it, and like I said last night, you guys are fantastic. I'm enjoying doing this, and we'll keep videos coming out to you. And if you were lucky enough to be one of the winners last night and I haven't received a message from you, just remember to leave me a message, and I will send you my personal email so we can exchange details, and I can get that sent on to Ray. So all right, thanks again, YouTube. We'll see you next time.